Yeah, what's going on, y'all? Thank you for coming to my channel. My name is Wally, and you are now tuned into PBH TV.
Hey, this the King of Melodies beat.
Yo, we back with some more current events. This got to do with your boy Vivek Ramaswamy telling Tucker Carlson how the Alphabet Boys lied about the 9, 1, and the 1. You know what I'm saying, all right? Just trying to make sure the algorithm don't trick anything over here, all right? So with that being said, sit back and react with your boy. Let's see what this is all about right here. Yo, Vivek, he been on his Trump wave. He just exposing everything, all right? So let's see how this gonna play out. Don't forget, consider subscribing, liking, and commenting on the channel, all right? It'll only help this channel grow. Let's go.
The government absolutely lied to us. The 9/11 Commission lied. The FBI lied. There's a federal case of victims on 9/11 that want accountability. I don't think they would have come for me if this was false. What do we know about Hunter Biden's dealings? What do we know about the truth of what happened on January 6th? What do we know about that Nashville shooter manifesto? Yes, we can handle the truth. Just give me the hard truth.
It feels like we're on the cusp of chaos.
Oh, there's something going on. I mean, I think
Wow. Yo, if the era of transparency is a thing, this is now. You understand me?
we're like in a 1776 moment in this country. We are driving Russia further into China's arms as we arm Ukraine, further strengthening what I see as the single greatest military threat. We are dependent on a tiny island nation off the southeast coast of China for our entire modern way of life. I will not send our sons and daughters to die over somebody else's nationalistic dispute. End the Ukraine war, reduce our economic dependence on China, weaken the Russia-China alliance.
I'm not sure what is controversial about any of that. They're a dumber group than the foreign policy Republicans. Where are we now?
There's a deeper void and vacuum that we have to fill with an affirmative alternative vision of our own. And that takes courage. That the government absolutely lied to us. The 9/11 Commission lied. The FBI lied. Now, is this a core point of my campaign? No, it's not. There's this guy, Al Bayoumi. Now, rewind back to 9/11 and the pre-9/11 day. Think of how ludicrous this story is. A 42-year-old graduate student, and there's nothing wrong with being 42 and going back to school. My dad went back to school much later in life, but he's a 42-year-old graduate student who receives the two of the terrorists who flew planes into buildings in the United States of America not that long later, receives them at the airport in LA, takes them to his house, spends lots of time with them, integrates them into the community. But the account for what he said happened was he met them randomly at the airport. That doesn't make much sense on the face of it.
Kind of happened to be at LAX and
no, exactly.
You guys from
and
Saudi.
Hey, you know, you look like guys we might get along with.
Where who does that, right? And bring them home.
And then suddenly become fast friends at the airport, so much so that he takes them up. So it's a little suspicious. But hey, the 9/11 Commission and the FBI looked into it, and at the time they said his account is accurate.
Yeah, it sounds legit.
It sounds super legit, right? Now, there was some
Hanging out at LAX.
Yo, I can't take Tucker Carlson right now. Yo, he's being super sarcastic.
Now, these guys came from Saudi Arabia. Does this guy who received them have any ties to Saudi Arabia? That's where they landed. But now, 20 years later, in 2021 and 2022, the FBI quietly declassifies documents, and they have to, 20 years later is the deadline, that suggests that, oh, wait a minute, they did know, actually, that this guy was a Saudi intelligence operative.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of things that need to be uncovered, but you know what? We may never know it to the fullest extent. You understand?
Here's also Ramaswamy on donations to Ukraine amidst their fight against Russia.
We are driving Russia further into China's arms as we arm Ukraine, further strengthening what I see as the single greatest military threat that the United States certainly has faced since World War II. You could make a case that the United States has ever faced if you actually look at where this could be going. And yet we are actually the ones responsible for driving that Russia-China military alliance. And so one of my advantages is that I am not, some people say, well, you don't have foreign policy experience. And I'll say, yes, I don't have foreign policy experience. And that may actually be an advantage in bringing a rational American.
So you're not responsible for the war in Iraq.
Yeah,
and that's a bad thing.
Yeah, well, I think we could debate whether it's a bad thing or not. But if you break the car, you don't turn over the keys to the guy who broke it. That's what I would say. And so, I think that we are on our way to Ukraine turning into another Iraq or another Vietnam all over again. Except this time I think it could be worse because there's nuclear weapons at issue.
He ain't lying, though.
I think that's a very good point on both of their parts, talking about the foreign policy establishment. I definitely don't want a candidate that has any perspective other than an anti-interventionist perspective, and that's literally no one who's been a member of the foreign policy establishment. So I think that's a really good point there. Ramaswamy brings a perspective, I think, to our politics that's similar to RFK in that they're both independent thinkers and they're willing to talk about issues.
Yeah, don't leave Trump out of there because he's also an independent thinker, you understand? And I think that's what we need today. We need to break out of the old rhetoric, the old semantics. You understand what I'm saying? Like all that cliche textbook things, we need to break out of that. That's what's been driving us downhill. We need free thinkers who can think for their own. You understand what I'm saying? And you and we the people need to be on the same wave. Word up. So let me know your thoughts on this right here. Do you think what he's saying is true? Do you think he's just trying to stir the pot? Let me know your thoughts on this, all right? With that being said, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, we definitely living in weird times right now. But don't forget, this is the era of transparency. You can't hide anything anymore, all right? Yo, see you in the next one. Love.